my god, the illusions on this are sick! My name is Jessica Holyfield, and I'm a professional dance choreographer and dance educator based out of the southeast of the United States, and we are here taking a look at xikers' newest track entitled Witch. We have a music video and a dance practice to watch. I love me a good fix cam when we get to encounter one, and xikers has always been a very full-out group, great on the performance side, so I'm looking forward to seeing what we have here. Let's go ahead and get into it. Got another fixed point turn that they did in Tricky House. Wow, this is a waltz count too. That's so fun. I really like tracks that follow a 3/4 time signature. Oh. I think they changed time signatures. Cool. Sheesh. That's dope. Ah, yeah. Okay. That's really cool, honestly. Sweet. All right, here is the dance practice. Fixed cam, we gotta love them. Ready to go. Very intrigued on how this is gonna look. that was good. That was good. Oh, man. Yeah. This is good choreo tripping. God. Oh my God. Yes. That's right. When he says 136, it's at 1 minute and 36 seconds. That's what I was looking at during the music video too. Oh my God, the illusions on this are sick. Yeah. Maybe tripping, pop the freak off. Let's go. Yes. Wow. Really well done on this formation structure of this choreo. Where did they get the webs from? Yo! Yeah. Yeah, I'm sorry. The music video really did not give that dance justice at all. That was freaking-tastic. You know, we have the demo pulled up. We got BB tripping. Give them your flowers. Let's go. I love looking at demo work, too, just to see the comparison. Come on. BB tripping popped the freak off on this. So we have a more of an animated perspective in the movement quality because it's a heavy robotic overlay in the back. I love the waltz count so much because how everything is phrased is so nice. God, the amount of workshopping they probably had to do on this was extensive. Fingers, man. I didn't even see that the first time. That was giving Mummy's vibe, but the spiders. Oh, this is so good. This is probably this is probably top 5 best BB tripping choreo formats, man. This is sick. God. That. is one part that they do in this demo that I didn't catch. No, there's a couple things that I didn't catch whenever they were doing it. It's in the chorus. Yeah. Ah, okay. So if you look, the peekaboo, how BB Trippin' was doing it was freaking wild. Because look, I think it could be what they're wearing that really contributes to it. But that part is freaking sick. God, I think it's because of what he's specifically wearing. Like, that is sickening. So freaking cool. Okay, here we go from the top. I really like this choreo a lot, as you guys have seen. Okay, cool. This is cool. I'm excited to talk about it, actually. All right, from the beginning. Tone setting, very huge thing. Love it. If anything, very deceptive. The song has subtle ties into cognitive dissonance, which means it promotes a sense of anxiety, this little sinister vibes, but it definitely gives a welcome to Tricky House. It feels very xikers coded, which means it's a good song. It feels similar to the vein of like the Tricky House vibes in Kung. It feels like those had a little child, and it is which is cool. I like it. They do this concept style very well. God, it's so cool. I hope they stick with it literally forever. It's part of their lore, so I think it will, but it's still something, like, it's just great. It goes xikers, really nice. The little, and literally, I appreciate how crisp this column was for the fact that you have so many people and their mama coming out, and it looks like the dancers are assisting a lot of our members, literally throwing them, assisting them on the lift. Like, that's impressive out the gate. Love that. Great level represented. Then we have our first feature. I love this with the heaviness. Boom, with this extra reverb. So they're sitting in their legs on that, and they're allowing there to have a little bit of extra rigidness in the torso. Then there's this really nice. It feels like we're breaking off as we go, and we have our moment. Good transition. So everybody's going the same direction, but we're all moving where we need to go, facing the same direction to us, which is nice, which is a subtlety going on with the hands. And they set it up. Then from here, you know, we have some of them do a body roll, boom, with the axe at the top of the head. Then they basket run away. That's my only qualm. You guys know how sensitive I am. If this is your first video with me, I have a love-hate relationship with basket runs, because to me, they do feel like a wasted opportunity to do something creative, because I see everybody and anybody and everyone use basket runs the same way, regardless of concept, which is why it feels disconnected. But here in this case, it's so minimal, and not everybody basket runs, and it feels like we're hiding it well. It doesn't bother me, but I'm letting you know I do see them, but I don't see them as big of a priority to be constructive on like I have in other formats, especially in the Mega Crew side. So nothing crazy there, but I love the marches on this. I like how my guy in center, he does this little moment, accent, has some other people run away. It kind of feels like they did that to kind of trigger them to be sent off, which is fun. How he sets into that is really nice. I love the amount of trust that we're having in those that are lifting, whether it's the members or the dancers. It's so nice. I appreciate whenever there's no qualms on the reliability side. Looks cool. They sit back. Just he freaking drops it all the way down to the floor. Like, that's not a we hit and then we're laying equally. It's a we're going, and then he can be dropped very easily in that position. So that is a lot of trust for the fact that he's able to go all the way that low and still sing. Oh my God. And then this connection happening with the rest of the members. We have this little peekaboo moment peeking through this little archway. They drag him. He goes in, he goes, he gets assisted up. He comes up, down, Tricky House. We like it. And it goes, hello. That's really fun. And he comes up, boom, and you hear this little that crisp sound. He uses a chest pop, boom, to kind of create a nice rotation with the head. Everybody's down and low except for him. I like how he moves, and it causes everybody to move. I like this choice. I am currently using dancers in a production right now that they are making stairs with their hands, but it's a little bit more just standard. It's not quite this type of diagonal illusion. Like, that's the thing, is everything kind of feels a little bit off, right? Whether it's the angle or the illusion that they're giving. Not off meaning that it's in constructive feedback. It's off meaning it's not as it appears, or it gives this something just doesn't feel right. It actually justifies the concept very well on the choreographic structure. I really don't think people understand just how difficult it is to create this many illusions that spark and reintegrate and recaptivate your audience in in these ways. Like, this is a lot of workshopping that BB Trippin probably had to have done to get this product. Like, this is really, really nice, and it's in a waltz count, which I think naturally makes it just feel a little bit more interesting than just a basic 8 count or a basic 4/4 time signature. So I think that's really fun. I love this. He rolls it down. There's the basses are being hit right here from the hands. So I think it's the bass itself that reminds me of Kung and how they're hitting it in the pocket. But I also like the idea conceptually of how things are being set up like Tricky House. And there's also a moment that Hunter does that reminds me of his fixed point turn that you end up seeing in the music video that you do see here that he did in Tricky House that I made a really big point about. It's really fun to see revisited. I love how he punches, instigates a new feature over here on stage right. He goes, inserts his hand through as a thread, which is really fun. I like how you have my guy that was right next to him look away, so we know he's not contributing to the conversation in harmony or in anything, so we're not expecting anything of him outside of a physical collaboration, which I really like. And everyone's, you know, looking in different directions. Feels very intentional. I love it when we're intentional and mindful. He comes up, he does a little subtlety right there, he accents with the elbow, and then he's right here, he's covered up by the hands, he opens them up, boom, with his fingers, which is really cool. They're all reset in the back, and then it all folds in, do-do-do-do-do, really nice on that choice. Then we have a nice little moment out, and goes, he says, hello, we're here, and then we switch him up, which is fun, and then he re-clicks it, causes them to rotate around, and I like how he does a little crazy moment. They use their hands to help signify that. Dancers are coming back on stage, swim, swim, swim. I feel like we do this little breakout. It reminds me of Tricky House again. I don't know if they did it in Rockstar, but they also did it in Kung, I think. I don't know if it was Kung, but does that kind of make sense? I feel like there's so much overlap happening, and I don't mind any of it, but it feels very connected. If the lore exists with this group, which I do feel like there has to be, which is how branded some of these tracks are with each other, it gives that impression that we're in the same world that Kung exists in. It's very, I don't know, it feels like it's the same amusement park, different ride, which I like. It's cool, but this little segment here of the little mini group is something that I'm familiar with BB Trippin formatting on xikers. It's something like this, which is cool. I like the accent there is fun. The fringe is fringing. The little kick out there with a switch, boom, boom, boom. Using the fist is really helpful because we can associate a fist with being grounded, more fullness, or more of a punch, and a bass has a lot of fullness and sound. So a punch, like a slap, hurts differently than a punch does. It feels more, you know, what's it called? It's more compact, I think is what it is, and that's what a bass sound can feel. So I do like whenever we are choosing to use it, switching up the hands, I think is really important. And it goes, I love that choice with the trace, boom, using the bass to trace over is sick. He folds it over the eye, they have their hand on the hip, they look down, fold it out. It's like they just got stabbed or something, right? He resets, they trace it down to the other thigh, they pull it back up, then they create some resistance. His usage of how he's moving forward makes it feel like he's being resisted more than he is, which I really love. And then go ga, which is nice. So he takes the hands, folding them behind him. The grabs are cool, and throws them away. The rotation is super fun. He has this little moment now. I appreciate fixed cams because we can really see how it looks like in Vantage Point. If you're like if you go to a xikers concert, this is how you would see it. This is so cool. This little reversal is sick. That was so cool, and the amount of core that is required to get it to look that seamless, incredible. Now the question is, what happened to a previous feature? Let me look. They assisted him down. That is so cool. That's another little moment of like a really dope workshop, but you need a lot of people to make sure that they can confidently do that. And there's so much trust that is in this, which showcases the relationship between BB Trippin and xikers. Xikers trusting BB Trippin to this extent and trusting each other is a good sign. You want to have this type of trust. The twinkling in. The spiders are so sick. My fingers could not do that though. I mean, they could. It would require me probably 2 to 3 business day attempts because my fingers do not, they just struggle to isolate as well as other parts of my body. So I can respect the different spider perspectives quite immensely. And then they switch up, new feature. They present, the little sways on this are super cool because they have to hinge and then they end up snaking through. This is giving me a bit, like if you've ever seen The Mummy 2, where you have, what is it? The mummy that came back to life, spoiler alert, and then your lead guy. They're fighting over something. Book of the Dead, no, because the lead girl has it. There's just like this little underworld that has all these people with their hands and stuff all over the place. It reminds me of that, all that to say. It's fun, very interesting. And then, do you notice they just basket run away? It's this chicken wing specific basket run that is borderline triggering to me, because in my time with HHI, whenever you watch Mega Cruise, they do that all the freaking time, and that is such a note that we give to so many people, that I have given to so many crews. And you notice you continue to see it. Like, to me, that just feels like a missed opportunity when everything else is set up so well, and then you're pulling a standard transition off. That's just in a general note. I will always say that. I will always bring it up. Does not matter how good of a group you are. If you're going to pull a chicken wing basket run standard, we can do something else. There, you can transition out. You can run backwards. You can literally change one thing and it'll feel different. That's the kind of stuff I'm talking about. So he twinkles in, that boom, and they peekaboo. So they're nice, really great reverbs on this. I love how we're locking in the torso. He comes in, haha, I'm here. Then he goes, ta-ta mula, and I like the clap going forward, and they explode out of it. Then it's a boom, punch, punch. I love the hinges that happen. This pocket is such a good pocket on them. Looks so nice, meaning the movement and how it's sinking into the track, they do very well. They carry the posture very well. You do notice, though, if you're looking for like squeaky clean synchronicity, which I don't think, like, they're clean, but they're not like known for everybody looking the exact same, and I'm totally okay with that. With these concepts, you can have some mischievous individuality is what I would call it. But notice how his chest is a little bit more pressed up and out, and his is hinged over or like crunched over. Those little details do change the angle in which you're setting it up, or the range in how you're going to get from A to B, because your torso and how it sets up with the arm is going to be different. You know what I mean? Which I think that's just, if you're wanting to be known for really, really, really clean choreo, those would be things you would talk about or to fix. I love that. They go right, or something like that, where they take it, accent with the knee, accenting down, taking the arms up. Super nice. I love that. They bring it through. Now this part here, it's a nice little turn or turns out of it, and I love the sustain. That part reminds me of when he did Tricky House. His fixed point is disgusting. It's so cool. But his hip flexibility is even more impressive. And you can tell that he has really good hip flexibility because of how low and how fixed pointed he's able to get his head in that one move. But here, it feels very gimmicky. It feels like we're paying tribute to that fingerprint in the very first track. And because you've had BB tripping on all of it, I think it's very doable to do. Or maybe that's something that he wanted to add in. I know he's known as one of the main dancers, that kind of stuff. I love that there. You see that? That's technically a basket run, but did it bother me? No. We had stylized hands and we were walking on tempo, so that's what I appreciate. So I love how he switches it up and he's taking it, creating a nice tension as he drops that hand down. And it goes da-da-da-ba-da. So instead of going one, we're doing with two on the second one. And then we go boom, 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 boom. So it's interruption. So you have to flex, or a way to do it would be flexing your biceps. Boom, 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 boom. You could probably pull back, but you want to have some stability. Boom, 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 to help accent it up. I love the fullness going on there with the chest. Looking great, guys. Then he hit it up. Da-da. The pickup. He takes the throw, and then they all turn over. They have a habit of doing these turns. That turn we've seen in Tricky House, all of them doing. But they're grabbing on top of the head. I love the mischievousness of it. He goes, peekaboo, welcome. And they hit it with the heels. Here, ta-ta, back to the inside. So they accent it out, travel it to the inside. And he goes, beep, beep, beep. So I like the head with the tapping on the head is fun. That part is so freaking sick. Oh, my God. Yeah, toe, heel, toe, taking the leg up, shoulders, then they're looking to the front, and then they hit on the snap sound that you hear, that crash, they use the hips to accent back to the other side on a stage right. That was really cool. Dancers are on the side, then right here with the running. It helps spread the formation out from, especially in my outside guys. That looks really nice. And it goes, so I like the driving on that. And then right here, da-da-da-da, the commitment there, your feature's the only one looking. You have the arms up, so definitely some control. Really dope. No, doom, doom, doom. So I like how we take the energy, we press it out to the front, which is nice. And then it goes, da-doo, with the hinging on it. It's so fun. I like it with the shoulders. Some of them could have pulled head ISO. I actually like the fact that we went more shoulder with the hand than that. Really freaking sick. And we run it away. And now he sat down. They're all presenting. I like this choice with the hands out. And it goes, whoop, whoop. Really nice. The close-up on the BB Trippin' demo really made that come to life a lot more. So that there's certain moments like that. In that case, a zoomed in camera shot really makes it more captivating than as far away as it is. But it's still really cool, and I like being able to see how people transition in and out of stuff, because I do think transitions matter just as much as your content. And so that's really cool to see. The resnap, and then you have your time. Definitely have one arm that was faster than the other, because you're telling, you know, time. Sometimes you see like one hand go faster than the other, so it feels very realistic. Taking the fingers, traveling up, I think it's 136, yeah, which is exactly what my timestamp says. That's so cool with the throw, boom, boom, come on. And it goes da-da-do. So I like how we roll it. We accent with the point. It's super fun. He points up to the sky, and then we switch up. Nice footwork. It goes heel toe, and then we're going to twist the heel towards the front on the tail end of that. Those that are right outside of our feature in this moment. I like the head nods on that. So definitely we have three things going on. You have your feature. You have your secondary group that's doing, what are they doing? Oh, they're all doing it. Never mind. Just kidding. I thought my two that were next to my feature were just doing movement that were complementary to the feature, but we're still different enough from the outside circle, so we created some separation, but that's not what happened. They were just more subtle, which is fine. And then look at this beautiful basket run. Whatever. You know, personally, I mean, if anything, stay on tempo if you're going to do it. At least I think they were at that point a little bit more. Then from here, he goes, he takes it, and he throws it. And then, this is so cool. Like, if he's trapped in this, you know, like, not house of mirrors, but you know what I mean? Like, we're on different things that just really make your brain confused. Like this, it feels like we're in a room where things just aren't quite right? Our walls aren't supposed to move like that, but they are being moved here. They're creating that structure. The two columns, they're facing away, so we see the backs. So it feels like we're trapped in a wall. Like, this is really cool. That little knock is cool. They go, they expand it. The push back is really fun. They throw them forward. That little beep, beep, beep. Come on that. I love the clean and clear, like the clarity of those little nods with the wrist. So cool. He hits it through, he rotates, and then he throws that hand. Really nice speed change to present the hands up. They go high, boom, boom, boom. I really like that choice. I think they end up doing 4. Doom, 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 doom. Yeah, ding, 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 ding. So it goes bases, and then they hit on the tail end of his phrase that bleeds over into the next measure. So cool. He comes back up. He says, let's go. Da, 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 da. Little Joker smile whenever you see people do that. That's what they do with the fingers. Now, this is cool. This feels like, you know, whenever you see, like, thorns recede in, like, Sleeping Beauty or something, where you see, like, something shrivels whenever you touch it. It gives off that impression, which is really, really dope. Like, that kind of stuff's what I'm talking about. When you hear these subtle, like, synth harmonies in the back, too, it feels like these movements are going in complementary, like these are happening because of those sounds. That little, like you hear this little sinking happening in the phrase, and that is what it feels like. That's so cool. Like, it's so cool. This is a beautiful, like, this is a great way to utilize your numbers. It's so fun. The running there, their reaching is fun. I like their intention of where they're looking too. He goes, then he disappears, and there's, you guessed it again, basket runs. And then I think they were trying to go for mirrored, but I feel like we're just too individualized to go to 100% mirror, which is absolutely fine. You have this fold right here, which is whatever, that's fine. You know, I like the bend down, arms to the inside. That's cool. We're here for it. Love it. Now we walk. Hit down is cool. The quickness of that with that rushing sound was really nice. He takes off the mask, and you notice masks in the music video. And if there's a performance version, I'm sure that's going to show up there too. Will I watch the performance version? I don't know, because a lot of the cool parts of this will probably get lost, because they sure did in the music video, which of course you have other cuts, which is fine. I mean, the aesthetic is probably going to look cool, but I think a lot of the beauty of what makes this work so well is not going to show up in the performance version, because you're cutting to different shots in your set. That just happens. You know, I've talked about this many, many times, and so that's why I love an uncut fixed cam, because you can really appreciate stuff for what they are. The subtlety there, that peekaboo hit. The subtlety there, they go and they branch away. Great fullness in all of this. The punch, right. This choreo is tempting to learn, not gonna lie. I bet it's so freaking tiring. I will say Psychers choreo is probably some of the most tiring I have personally ever done in this era of doing just reacts and analysis. It's so exhausting. I had to do it. It took me 2 days just because I didn't have the stamina to try to pull it on the first day. So all that to say, like, it's real, and if you're tired doing it, I'm right there with you as a professional. It's tiring. So way to go, guys. I love how he bleeds it over. That's so fun and very individualized, but definitely keeps him standing out in a captivating way. Very fun. And it goes hip bump on with a nice on the chest, and then you have somebody else pop out. And then he has his moment, and notice his balance because the first guy happened on stage right, and then he's happening on stage left with the same section. So that was nice. Yep. Boom, doom, doom. I'm a fan of that. They pick it up, and then we turn it over. I like how he throws it, and then you have this part. Boom, boom, boom. Peek-a-boo, and then it goes out and in. Now, let me logistically figure out what they're doing with the feet. So it feels like they're going heel, toe, toe. So they go out with the heels, and then they do 2 hops towards the inside. And it goes beep, beep, beep. There is some, alternating going on with the ISO of the chest and the hips on that. Really fun. Yeah, hitting through. Boom. The first chorus was freaking wild on that section. Pull, pull, and like how he pushes over his mouth. Head is this. I love this. Okay, so this is a head ISO, where you go head first, and then you have to counterbalance or counter shift the head over to give the illusion of it being a fixed point in the space. Doo-doo, down, and then they swoop it the third time. So the first is staccato, so it's just a straight line, and then it drops down, same concept, but then the third one, then they rotate the head. Now, I will say, doing the stickier versions of head ISOs, it just depends. I learned a rotation head ISO first. Which one I think is harder to do? I would say awkward angles when you're doing head ISOs is just going to be harder. Like in positions that require you to have some sense of flexibility or fluency of a head ISO where you can't fake it. So in my head, what I'd love to have seen, we went head ISO, and then we swooped it. I would have loved to have seen a head ISO swoop, but I have a feeling that this is a little bit harder to get clean than this is, if that makes sense. So I hope you see the difference. This is more of a linear, which is what you saw in the first two. This is what I would have loved to see, but we ended up seeing just the head version. Totally fine. Love the fact it's there. I loved it the first time. This is just sick. And then you have your subtlety. He says, here we go, let's go. Now the spider webs. From far away, I mean, I kind of feel like they're not needed, but I get why we have them. I think it's a cool addition in some facets, but in other facets, because we're in like a room, it feels like we're adding a prop for context when there's nothing else giving us context outside of the movement quality, which that's why I like choreography giving me Easter eggs into what, we're creating an illusion of stairs that aren't quite, right, like you would fall down the stairs, or the walls are moving. Like, I like stuff like that. Part of me would have preferred if they made webs with their hands, but that's really a tough ask, honestly. But I don't mind it. We pick our battles. I think if you have a zoom in on the camera, which is what we saw with BB Trippin', it does read better. So I'm assuming some of this stuff is meant to be shot in a particular way cinematically. I think I touched on that when I recently looked at Team's debut track, Under the Skin. There's certain angles that really showcase better on a moving aerial shot than a fixed cam, because you get to see the depth of the formation, not just the overall content or level that you're seeing. So that's something that I am looking at here. Fans are going to be able to see this from a very specific lens, but about 2/3 of your fans are not going to see it from a straight shot like this. They're going to see it from an angle, and most of the other times when you see it on video, it's going to be like camera influence, if that makes sense. So I do factor all of that in when I do analysis, but because I'm giving it a fixed cam, I'm going to look at it with a fixed cam context with transitions. So the little switch up on all those with a 3 is really cool. I like that choice where you have one go, the other, and then it just feels like whenever they're all going in and out, they're switching up. They go down, they run, and then of course the basket runs. Yeah. I love that those 3 are just having a freaking blast. They throw it, and I like that. And it feels like they do have these really big, strong finishes. Not finish in the track, but like a finish to like their rap section. And then it just has this what's about to happen kind of section, which I think is really cool. This was really, really cool because it's clean right here. Like, I saw it in the music video, but I really loved appreciating it here. So it's giving the impression that he has really abnormally long arms and everybody else is kind of doing it too, but it just looks wild when he's doing it. And of course, they have to get the range right on this arm to match what's going on with his arms expanding. So I'm wondering, is he grabbing whenever this is happening to keep the line? Part of me thinks yes. Yeah, the boom, boom, I like the push, push. I think that's just nicer. Everybody takes the energy up. That little boom, 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 boom. Feels like we did a vibration coming from center. And then we switch to I think we switched to a 4/4. That dun, 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 dun. So you can count in 8s way easier here. So this is your dance break. Welcome. Yeah, the picking up, boom, boom, boom. I like the rotation, brrr, and the throw on there. The bass is really fun with the switch up with the hand. Super nice with the switch. And of course we cross over, which is really nice too. The kick turn is super cool, having your 3 drop, great levels. And I like the fact that we have some levels, so when your feature's happening right there, it's clear for us to see what's going on. I love the cross on that. And then from here we're hinging back. I always want to just be vocal and be mindful. We want to be mindful of our knees on stuff like this. We don't want to just drop out and hope for the best. You want to have some familiarity and how you're dropping back. I think that kind of stuff can be really helpful for you. So that looks really nice. His subtlety right there worked really well in this case. He hits it over, really nice. And they go, I love that, all the way with the fringe. Come on now. And you have another little moment, little bite moment. And then here we go, new formation. I love the fact we're stepping. It's giving that AT stomp. You can hear him a mile away, shaking the camera vibes. We love it. Then they bring it around. I love that choice. I love the rotations in play with the fullness of the bass being represented. They hit it over, boom, dropping that hand down. And the subtlety, notice there's a subtle head ISO going on with our guys. That's cool. Yeah, the boom, 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 boom. Come on. Like, that stuff's really cool. Then I hit it right back in. We go take our arms up, boom, throw that head and those hands down before we move back. This down, just the bass up. Having the hands, some subtlety. God, it's so fun. I love that. Like, this is giving straight heart attack, right? So you have, in like great way. So you have like a heartbeat. Some people, they just flatline and it's dead choreo. Here, it's like we're going into cardiac arrest before we kill you off. Like, this is what it feels like. So I like that. It's fun. It's fun. And we go that, yeah, we switch it up. And they go shh to finish. Now, I don't quite know why we made the decision to only move 3 of them to a new spot, right? Well, I mean, everyone turns, but there's only like 3 major shifts in the formation. So part of me wishes that they just kept it, you know, whoever was in the center, just keep them there, and they finish out. But maybe they needed it in this particular way to set up for a future track or for another track on their set list they would have in concert. Normally, you would see that for stuff like that. But in a nutshell, freaking exhausting. I thoroughly enjoyed it though. And I'm glad this exists, and I'm glad that I got to watch it with the dance practice. I think that's probably what I'll do for a lot of Gen 5s is wait for the dance practice to come out and watch them both. And then we even had a demo to boot, which is really fun because I think I get a lot more out of seeing both visuals instead of seeing everything so separated. So we're here for this. We love this. Thank you guys so much for taking the time to watch. If you want to see more Xikers and you don't see it on YouTube, good chance it's on Patreon. I've already marathoned this group, so I've seen all of their discography and a ton of behind the scenes as well on their dance practices, which I find to be really, really fun. I love talking about just the logistics of being in the practice space in general. Love seeing some overlaps between how BB Trippin talks to them as well as how I talk to my own kids. I think it's super cool. And I'm looking forward to the discussions on this. If you are a fan of Xikers, I want to hear from you. What is your favorite routine that you've seen from them? For me, I really like this choreo on them a lot. It feels like a really dope marriage of some really cool tracks. I have physically learned Tricky House and I understand how the physical demand to some degree that they are being pushed to do. It's really cool, very commendable, and I am excited to hear from you guys as well. Once again, my name is Jess, and I will catch you on the flip side. Bye.